Welcome back, everybody, to another Tips for Mortgages video series. My name is Mike Parkinson. I'm a mortgage broker in BC with Dominion Lending Centers, joined by my cousin, Jaden Bax, out in Crossville, Alberta with BRS. How you doing, Jay?
Doing great. The only bad thing out here is I was shoveling the deck today, shoveling the snow off.
What?
Yeah, I know. You're probably still cutting your lawn.
Actually, yeah, I just did cut
Yeah.
my lawn and wax my car.
Yeah.
Actually, we had terrible weather out here, buddy. It's been pouring rain. It's beautiful the last few days, but it's been awful. So
Good. That makes me feel better about our situation.
you got sunshine.
Yeah, we got a lot of sunshine and we got a lot of good news today. Expected news,
awesome.
but you never really know what it's going to be until it's going to be. A 50 basis points rate cut by the Bank of Canada on their overnight rate, which means all variable rate mortgage holders are seeing some relief in the form of 0.5% off of their current mortgage. And so a couple of different variables that you can get into, either an adjustable where your payments will go down this month or your next payment date. That's fantastic. Or a fixed variable where your payments will stay the same, but at least you're hitting on that mortgage a little bit harder again, right? So really great news for anybody thinking about getting a mortgage or anybody who currently has a variable. But I'm getting a lot of calls today from my clients who have decided to go fix and haven't closed yet, asking, okay, so are we going to see rates go down now with this announcement? Is our rate going to go down before we close? What's that look like, Mike?
No, bond yields actually, because of the news, so-called real news that came out of the U.S. there a couple weeks back or last week. I can't even remember when it was, Jay. There's so many news reports coming out every day, about their amazing jobs numbers and their retail sales that are unbelievable. They're all manipulated. If you peel the onion back, we keep saying that it's not as good as you think. They'll all get revised down anyways. So that's pushed some bond yields up, long-term U.S. bond yields, and of course our 5-year bond yields and higher follow. So that just means that I think we were at there. What is our 5-year bond yield at 2.9 something today?
Yeah,
it was all the way up to 3.1 and then back to 2.7 or something, and then it bounces all over the place. So I think we're going to see relief once the real numbers or economic forecasts come in the next few months from the U.S. But the U.S. pretty much controls everything there as far as the bond yields, and that's kind of what we follow. So that's what we're seeing a little bit of. Short-term rates, they're still kind of hovering around there, a little bit of movement, but they follow the Bank of Canada as well, right? So I think we're going to see over the next 12 months, obviously you and I talked about this, what's going to happen in December the 6th. Are they going to drop another 50 beta, 25? Lots of people are thinking 25, but I think it's all dependent on the data, right, that comes in.
Well, and I think the data is showing that it's got to have to be 50. Like if we talk about where, people were very happy that there was, inflation down to 1.6%. That's actually a problem right now. Where we're at with where our rates are at, inflation being like we're on a crash course with deflation at the moment. And so, it's really important that we get that under control and be aggressive about that by lowering rates as much as possible, right? So I think the Bank of Canada is getting the messaging there, and they're being supported by other economies around the world with emergency rate drops and things like that. Other countries are starting to see, and we've seen this pattern before, but in reverse, right? Like we saw the 25 up. 25 up. Oh heck. Oh no. Oh 50 up. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh 75 up. Oh 100 up. Oh my God. Right? And then we're back at the top. And so I don't suspect that we're going to get back down to a 0.25% overnight rate. That's not good for the market, and it's not good for us in general. Yeah, we would be in really big trouble if we got to there. But I suspect we're moving more back towards what I would consider to be traditional rates, where for the last 25 to 30 years, where rates have hovered kind of between that 2.5% to 3.5% on a 5-year fix and a 5-year variable, right? And so the really interesting decision point for me right now is historically the variable has been in a normal market, variable is always about a half point or 3/4 of a point less than fixed. Hey, Mike?
Less fixed. Yeah, less than fixed. And interesting with all the manipulation and stuff happening with fixed rates and how they follow the bond yields and what's happening with bond yields, and things are better than they are. Like, it's just a narrative, right? So I think into next year, we're going to see things really, if you look at all the leading indicators, Jay, if you really look at their leading indicators, it's not great, right? Like unemployment's starting to move up. So a couple things. I think if we see unemployment start to really move up and inflation stays down and continues on a downward trend, panic mode, right? That's when that's when things are you're gonna start to see maybe a little higher rate cuts and stuff. We don't have a crystal ball. We're just kind of giving you a synopsis of what we learned over the last year. We've been talking about this for 2 years, Jay. I never thought rates would get as they did. I'm blown away they did. But it's called the lag effect. It's called government involvement. It's called, if you look at the jobs numbers, the public sector is carrying everything. The private sector is getting hammered, and the consumers are getting hammered, and consumers 70% GDP. What's our GDP per capita if you really break it down?
Yeah. And we've talked about that for a long time. So what that means for us is that, like, knowing that generally speaking, variable rates are, half a point to 3/4 of a point less than fixed on a similar term, and that kind of the best. So the best 5-year fix in my market right now is about 404. And so variable now is down after today's rate cut around 505. Yeah, high ratio, sorry, of course, less than 20%. And so down to about 505. So we're looking at a gap of about 1%. In reality, I think you can expect because I do think that fix is going to come down, but it's going to come down incrementally, slowly. I think that variable is going to start coming down on it because they have that 1.5 to 1.75% to make up just to get back down to the normal gap. And that's not taking into account anything happening in the bond market, any lowering in fixed rates. So if you're looking to get aggressive with your rates and trying to get the best kind of lowest rate and push your rate down as low as possible over the next year, variable there's just so much built-in data that is saying that variable will go down significantly. That to me, people might look at it as a risky play, but that to me is the more conservative play, is to go with variable and give yourself a chance to go down.
Absolutely, and like we already talked about, if you're just on the cusp and you just can't sleep at night thinking about it, and you want a 3-year fixed or a 5-year fixed, just beware that you know what you're getting into. Don't get into something where the penalty is going to be like ridiculous. We don't know what it's going to be, but understand what you're getting into. And there's nothing wrong with fixed. We're just giving you our opinion on where we think things are heading. We think if you take a variable in the next 12 months, you're going to be much happier. And speaking of the variable, those people that have static payments, like with TD or whoever, you can always, if rates continue down and you need some payment relief, you can always touch base with the bank and see if they're willing to lower your payments to keep your amortization where it is. Because I know TD, I believe, does that now. They never used to. Just something to consider if you want some payment relief because it was up so high, right? So if you don't, then you're just paying your mortgage off quicker. And also, let's look in another strategy. If you take variable now instead of maybe that 5-year fixed or 3-year fixed, where's the fix going to be in a year, right? Maybe it's time to lock in then. And that's something that Jay and I discuss with our clients, is that we'll hit a terminal rate. That's kind of it. And maybe that's when we start to look at fixed rates again, right? So.
And the beautiful thing is you can lock in for free with your current bank. You can lock in without paying anything with your current bank. They're not going to offer you the best rates in the market. They're going to offer you their posted rates. So the beautiful thing about variable is that we know exactly what the penalty will be, and we can say, like, listen, they're offering you this, but I have this promo rate out in the market that is this. Let's break this. We'll put that penalty onto the back end of the other mortgage because we've done this strategy to minimize our penalty, and we'll get you into the fixed, and then you're set for the next 5 years, right?
Exactly. So 3 months interest, and but it's different with every lender. Some lenders are 3 months at posted rate, some are 3 months at so it's really important to talk to your broker and understand, what you're getting into and what your penalty would be, and come up with a strategy. So that's where you can call myself in BC or Jay in Alberta. We're happy to go over with you. Renewals are coming up. People are signing those 5-year fixed at these higher rates that it's kind of blowing my mind a little bit, but some of the rates that they're signing. So just really, I think it's a second opinion from today's mortgage world.
Yeah. Absolutely, and we're always happy to take a call. So thanks, guys. We'll talk to you hopefully next week. We'll chat back in and kind of see what the effect has been on the fixed rates from what's happened this week with the variable rates.
I think it's going to be an interesting next 3 to 6 months. So we'll be all over this, Jay.
Yeah.
We'll talk to
all
you
right,
next
buddy.
time.
Okay, sounds good. Bye.
Yeah.